Okay, dinner's cooked, I've got my chores done, time to check EQD. No. Curse you, Tiny Pop!
Three days later.
Hey every pony, I'm Dulcet, the pony of exhaustion, and welcome to another episode of Headcanon. The show where everything's made up and the spoilers don't matter because I got this damn thing out before it aired. So, ha! I need a soda. The Season 6 finale, just like the opener, is coming up on us quick, less than a week away, thanks to some bizarre PR decisions in the UK. Seriously, you have no idea how many days I went without sleep to get this thing out. I feel sorry for my editor. And now I feel twice as sorry. But you think I'm in a bad state, you should see my artist.
Hey yo, Sketchy! You alright?
All jokes aside, Josh Haber has set this season up to be a huge arc. He tested the waters with Season 5, bringing Starlight back for the finale. But now that he's got the reins for the entire season, he's been preparing us for something huge, and left a ton of hints along the way. First off, let's go back to the opener. We met Flurry Heart, the new Alicorn baby and a source of love for all the Crystal Empire. We also meet Sunburst, Starlight's former and then rekindled friend. By the end of the premiere, all is well, for the most part, and Sunburst and Flurry continue their lives in the Empire. Now, if you've been a fan of my content, you should already know this video, if you can get past the horrible audio I used to have. Back then, I claimed that Sunburst is going to play a big role in the finale. Not as a friend, but an enemy. I based this on his strange reasons for being in the Empire to begin with, and how well it would fit with Starlight's arc of friendship and forgiveness. Since then, we've gone back to the Crystal Empire and seen him once again. And I'm now more convinced than ever that Sunburst is going to be in a villainous role. In The Times They Are a Changeling, we meet Thorax, a personable changeling that realizes that the ideals and instincts of his hive aren't necessarily the best. This is also the changeling we saw at the end of the premiere. The first thing that happens in this episode is a huge exposition dump, reminding everyone of the events of the Canterlot wedding. This is completely on purpose, so that it doesn't need to be stated in the finale, so they can focus on more important things than exposition. During the episode, we see Sunburst again, taking an extremely intimate role as Flurry's Crystaller. He's the one pushing the floating carriage and grabbing her when her life is threatened by Thorax. Does anyone else see this as odd? I consider the role of Crystaller to be more like that of a godparent. Remember, Twilight was originally going to be the Crystaller. She was clearly not going to stay and raise Flurry Heart when she had her own job to attend to back home. I've godparents that live across the country, and I hardly ever see them or talk to them. Sunburst seems to be more assuming the role of a nanny, but even then, it's taken to the extreme. Look at the scene when Thorax is first revealed.
I can't, stop!
That's Sunburst magic that's surrounding her, yet Cadence is right there. We also know that Sunburst is a scholar of magic, not a prodigy in its use. Of all the ponies there, why is it that he's the one that grabs her?
This changeling replaced your friend to get close to the baby. What other explanation could there be?
Of all the ponies there, why is it that he's the one that's giving the explanation to the room? It solidifies his position within the ranks of Cadence and Shining Armor and reinforces their trust in him, while deferring suspicion to the new arrival of the changeling. Speaking of, we now have the town scapegoat. Thorax is one of, if not the meekest changeling, even more so than Kevin. In a land of ponies where they only have seen and heard of the negative actions of his race, he's surrounded by constant suspicion. After the episode aired, FNGR stated this:
I'm not sure I could look you dead in the eye and tell you giving him a chance was the right thing to do. And that, My Little Ponies, is why this is an amazing episode. The people involved make a bold choice that, while commendable, isn't necessarily the right one. Till much later, we won't know if Thorax is a spy.
Yeah, trusting him will make things worse, but not by any fault of his own. If anything happens, say a certain Alicorn baby goes missing, he'll clearly be the one they first point their hooves at. In addition, even if Thorax finds out that it is Sunburst that's the true villain, who would believe him when he's a trusted member of the princess's court? Sunburst's escape plan has been handed to him on a crystal platter.
Sunburst? Why do you have the baby? No. You're not...
Sorry to say, Starlight, but I am. I already found a place where my abilities will actually be appreciated.
How could you? You traitor! You're my friend! I trusted you!
Oh, we are. If it weren't for you, I'd have never gotten this close to the little one. And now, she belongs to my queen.
No. This is all my fault. Sunburst, don't do this! No! No!
As interesting and great a plot twist of that magnitude will be, it's likely only going to be a portion of the first episode. As Sunburst makes his escape and the Empire comes under siege, the Crystal Empire will prepare for war. Starlight, feeling responsible for Flurry's capture, and Thorax, feeling similar remorse about his queen, will set out to infiltrate Chrysalis's larder to free the captured infant. But they won't be alone. As I said before, Josh Haber has had the reins for the entire season. There are very few episodes he hasn't had his hands in, be it as the writer, story concept creator, or story editor. And every one of these episodes have elements that can appear in the finale. From Gauntlet of Fire, we have Ember, Dragonlord and ally to Ponykind, ready to bring her army to the aid of Spike. From Dungeons and Discords, we have the Yaks, also on good terms with ponies, warriors ready to aid in the Empire's defense. We may also have the Griffins thanks to Gabby and Gilda, but it's more likely we'll see just Gabby again, helping Starlight on her quest. Speaking of which, aside from the large armies, we're likely going to see a number of smaller callbacks in the other episodes in the season. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to consider map episodes as holdovers from last season, and therefore likely don't contain elements that will be in the finale. Also, holiday-themed episodes such as Heartswarming Tale aren't going to be counted either, as I tend to consider those outside of the normal canon. That being said, let's run through the episodes that are left and try to find Starlight and Thorax the rest of their raiding party. The Gift of the Maud Pie, Maud herself. Always a welcome fan favorite, she would be ideal in caves and rocky areas, and can do some of the major heavy lifting. No Second Prances, Trixie. This one's a no-brainer. If we're going to fight Chrysalis, we might as well get two characters for the price of one voice actress. Saddle Row Review, the Raccoon Family? I know this one sounds like a stretch, but we've seen both Smokey and Soft Pads in every little thing she does, so they are potential recurring characters. Flutterbrudder. Zephyr. Honestly, I hope this isn't true, but the group could use a Pegasus. Stranger Than Fanfiction. Daring Do. Speaking of a Pegasus, as the treasure hunter she could easily be the best for detecting and disarming traps. I suppose Quibble could do the same thing, but somehow I don't think he'd be able to get out of the office to do it. The Fault in Our Cutie Marks. Gabby. This Griffin jumps at the chance to help, and as a super utility player on par with Haruhi Suzumiya, she's a shoo-in. And thus we have our rescue team. Starlight, Thorax, Maud, Trixie, Zephyr, Daring Do, and Gabby, with the potential of seeing the Raccoon Family again. And of course, Spike. Now you may have noticed I skipped over a lot of episodes. I mentioned the dragons and the yaks earlier, however many other episodes do have things that we can take away additional callbacks from that would be likely very helpful. We might see the Appaloosan ponies, probably the Buckball team in the fight, and I'm sure the Symboloduplexus will reappear from Starlight's repertoire. As of writing this script, the Fallen Apples and Top Bolt haven't been aired, so I can't make predictions based on them. However, there is one other consistent part of this season, and that's Spike. Season 6 has honestly been the season of Spike. His development as a character has been solid throughout, even when he isn't the main focus of an episode. I know that Josh Haber likes Spike as a character, and after Gauntlet of Fire, he promised 2 more great Spike episodes via Twitter for this season. Of that, we've had 1, The Times They Are a Changeling. Dungeons of the Discords was a Discord episode, and though Spike did play a big part, we still have 1 more left. Another thing that's been consistent about Spike throughout the later seasons has been his appetite. After Gauntlet of Fire, I did a comprehensive analysis on dragons and Spike. 2 videos that hardly anyone watched, which I recommend that you watch to better understand my next point. In Applejack's Day Off, 28 Pranks Later, and PPOV, Spike's appetite continues to be on voracious levels, and in PPOV specifically, Spike's fangs have been much more prominent than normal. It's time for him to age past Baby Dragon. He's learned enough now, and it's time for him to grow. Sunburst will betray Starlight and the Empire, kidnap Flurryheart, and take her to Chrysalis. She and Thorax will follow, with a party of season-long callbacks and a war raging behind them as they hunt for the Changeling Queen. I've made a lot of predictions on this channel about the future of MLP, and so far I've been pretty close to the mark. Josh Haber's plan for this season has been apparent since the premiere, and I can't wait to see how close all of my musings come to the final product. This is why I worked so hard to get this out before the first airing of the episodes in the UK. Let me know what you all think of this in the comments, and always keep theorizing. You just might wind up right. I'm Dulcet. Thanks for watching.
Sunburst? Why do you have the baby?
Sorry to say, Starlight, but I am.